Hey guys, how are you? I'm coming to you from my work lab. I want to introduce you to my vintage antique Wilcox Gibbs chain stitch sewing machine. She's a beauty, isn't she? Ah, I love her so much. It has been updated. It's motorized with its own foot pedal, and to keep repair down on this beauty, I have to do the proper maintenance, and I want to share it with you so that you can do maintenance on your machine, especially if you have a vintage chain stitch machine. This is for you. And just make sure that before you begin anything, you want to turn off your machine. Okay, this is the light that has my machine. She is now off. And if it's threaded, remove any thread from your machine as well. And we want to also make sure we clean her, dust her. You can use a makeup brush if you have one, and you can get in all of the areas, you know. And if you don't have a makeup brush machine, you can also use an air duster to get into the small parts. I'm using them in the holes here to dust out what's underneath, even the areas I can't see, and make sure she's all dusted up. Dust free, I should say, not dusted up. Dust free. Okay, sorry about that. And then now the important part, we are ready to oil our machine. But this is what's important. I have seen some videos out there, and one said, you see the perforated holes, put oil in those. Well, not so fast. Depending on what machine you have, you want to make sure that you put it on your moving parts. That's what's going to need the attention of your oil. Okay, so you see here this moving part. I'm going to follow the complete moving part, and anything that moves, I'm going to give it some lube. Okay, so just reaching down for my oil here. So this area here, right, this moves. So I'm going to put oil in here. I've already pre-oiled my machine, so I'm not going to over-oil it, because this oil it's not expensive, but I'll tell you, I use it sparingly. We don't want to overuse it. And make sure, don't grab WD-40, guys. WD-40 is not good for everything. You want to make sure you get some sewing machine oil. Okay? Now, following my moving part all around, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to get in these crevices here, and I'm going to get in here. And then make sure you just continue to move those parts so that they move nice and smooth. Okay? Now this part, this is a part that I manually move. And so I'm going to oil this area in here. I'm going to come down here and oil this area here. And then I'm even going to oil here. Once I oil it, I'm going to move my areas, my machine parts up and down, let that oil do what it's going to do. And this is one area. This is where the chain stitch is made, right? Once that thread goes down there, then it spins and makes a stitch. Now, this area only moves when my machine's on and I have my foot on the pedal. So I'm going to oil that area. There's a disc behind there. I'm going to make sure there's oil back there. Okay. So that when that spins around, she's going to be well lubed. Okay. Now, once you have put your oil in, I wouldn't use your machine right away. I would make sure you put paper towel under the areas where you think it might drip. And, you know, I'd give it a few hours, or I'd even give it a full day to make sure that all the oil is absorbed. And most importantly, I would put a sewing machine cover on this bad boy because it prevents dust from building up in your machine, helps keep the oil nice and moist. I wouldn't say moist so much because we don't want water in our oil, but you know what I mean. It helps to retain the moisture of your oil for your machine so it doesn't dry out. And I would say, you know, I asked an expert, how often should you oil and clean your machine? He said you probably want to dust it off depending on your area. If you keep your windows open, you know, anywhere from 1 to 2 months, and you want to oil it maybe every 3 to 4 months. Okay. So happy maintenance, guys. I hope this video has helped, and please like, share, and subscribe.